During the 2016 presidential campaign, candidates should discuss how police brutality negatively impacts the relationship between police and minorities. To protect and serve, a look at police brutality in the United States.
According to Cato Institute in 2015, every 8 hours, a police has brutally killed or abused a victim. It is important for candidates to discuss police brutality because it strains relationships and trust between officers and minority communities. All citizens of the United States should feel protected by law enforcement.
Well, there's a lot of social implications. One, there's a historical tension between the African diasporan community, and I say African diasporan because it's not just African American, and what the police represent either as an asset to the community or a deterrent to the community. And so what I mean by that is that right now we have a situation where people are protesting with this thing that's called Black Lives Matter, right? What that means is that the value of people, in particular the Black community, clearly is not being valued by the number of deaths that are occurring at the hands of police officers.
Police brutality violates the Constitution's core promises under the 14th Amendment of equal protection under the law to all and freedom from cruel and unusual punishment.
The issue of police brutality is important because it nearly affects the whole nation. Although incidents of police brutality occur more in southern states, it clearly still occurs in other regions of the nation.
People of the United States look to law enforcement for their protection and safety. However, when the police officers are putting citizens' safety in danger, it contradicts this ideology. Our nation looks up to law enforcement as heroes, but when people witness the excessive force used on minorities, they can get the wrong perception.
Over the course of 6 years, the use of excessive force and the murdering of innocent people toward minority communities, especially Black communities, have primarily increased. The increasing rates show that this subject needs resolution and awareness.
Some people may believe police brutality is necessary when used towards citizens. However, this contradicts the true definition of police brutality, which according to Cato, police brutality is the use of any force exceeding the reasonable, necessary, and lawful police purpose. Police brutality refers to the excessive force law enforcement uses on a citizen accused of a crime.
Police have been unnecessarily aggressive and militarized in poor communities and communities of color for a very long time. And so, communities of color know how aggressive the police have become, and I think your caller is pointing to that problem. This is not in many ways a new problem. The second point is that, I have spoken with members of law enforcement who are deeply concerned that when the police engage in communities in this hyper-aggressive, hyper-militarized fashion, it undermines public confidence in law enforcement. It makes the job of law enforcement that much harder. The police are there to protect and serve, not to wage war against the communities that they're designed and supposed to be protecting.
The people of the United States often get negative assumptions and thoughts of both police officers and communities of color when witnessing incidents of police brutality. These judgments can lead to distrust in our law enforcement. Also, incidents of police brutality occurring in communities of color may mislead Americans to judge people of color based on the images or videos of racial profiling they see. The presidential candidates should also have more involvement in raising awareness for police brutality.
They can aid and fortify social activist movements that raise awareness, like Black Lives Matter. This would help minorities feel supported and give them the hope for a serious change.
Candidates' involvement would positively increase attention towards this nationwide issue. Support from the presidential candidates would help minorities feel supported and give them hope for serious change. The 2016 presidential candidates should expound on the matter of police brutality because it creates a detrimental relationship between police officers and citizens of color. Solving the issue of police brutality would positively impact the nation because it would eliminate the large tension between minority communities and police. It would also eliminate the negative assumptions of both law enforcement and communities of color.